Alright, this week's free stock pick is Nutrisystems, NTRI. Show you the setup here. Big gap down. These are the daily candles, okay, daily chart. Big gap down here, and it kind of settled in for about a week. And actually, we had it on watch this day and caught this breakout here, which was one of our best plays that day. Well, the next day it gapped up, and now it's kind of basing again. And let me kind of show you what we're looking at here. You can kind of picture, I'm not the best at drawing lines with this mouse, you can kind of picture a little wedge pattern here. And again, this candle here is interesting because of the big breakout. It shows that you might have some shorts caught in this thing, and they're pretty quick to cover. And it's held up pretty well since that pop. Okay, and you still have this gap here in this area. Let's get those lines off of there. So this is what we're looking at. You kind of have the wedge pattern. And I'm going to zoom in using different candles here to show you a couple different, what we look for, triggers or catalysts, if you will, certain places that if it hits may yield more upside. Okay, so this is today's opening 5-minute candle. See, it was pretty whippy early on, and this is the afternoon from today. Nice little tight base here. So one of our catalysts is going to be over this area. This is for Wednesday's trading. Okay, so one of our catalysts is going to be a 1756 trigger price, meaning if it gets to that, could see more upside. Now let's zoom out again using 60s. Today's high, I'm sorry, I'm still making this video on Tuesday afternoon. Today's high, 1792, so that means 1793 is another potential catalyst if it gets over here. So here's our first catalyst. Then if it breaks today's high, and then you have another high from, I don't know, about a week ago, and then the high of that rally. Now I'm going to zoom back out and show you the daily again now that I've shown you those. And let's zoom into this area a little bit. You can kind of see it better. So in other words, if it breaks today's high, 1793, talking about on Wednesday's trading, you had this other high of 1806, and above that, a good chance you get up to retest and maybe break through 1840. So we have what we call stacked catalysts again, which that's why these wedge patterns work, because you're taking out previous significant highs when it starts to go. That's why those work. And again, zooming in, our first entry, I'm a little too far zoomed in, will be a break of Tuesday afternoon's high, 1756. Now, as we always say in these videos, we have no idea how NTRI or the market itself is going to open tomorrow. Okay, so if NTRI opens down here tomorrow, gaps down, maybe the market gaps down, we probably won't even give this a second look. It might actually be a decent short, but we've got looks like about 8 stocks on watch for tomorrow, and we'll add some as far as pre-market gappers and that sort of thing in the morning before the market opens too. So as far as our live trading chat room goes, we may have a list of 8 stocks, and we may play none of them tomorrow. We may play a whole series of different things depending on how the market unfolds. Now, if NTRI opens up here, we may still find a way to play it, but we're not just going to grab it. Okay, we're going to look for a low risk entry. So when we talk about 1756 being our potential first catalyst to enter that might yield some more upside, that's assuming that it's going to open somewhere right around here where it closed on Tuesday. So just keep that in mind. And also, as we always say, we will follow up tomorrow night to show you whether we traded NTRI and how we did it, what we were looking at on an intraday basis, because everything we do is based on intraday setups. Okay, so this is just a synopsis of possible scenarios. Okay, but remember the gap ideas. If it gaps, all bets are off, and we'll look for other entries. So that's important to remember, and please watch the follow-up video. Again, a lot of what we do is based on intraday action. Just to give you an example of that, one of our plays from today, NRG, okay? This is what it looked like. We had it on watch this morning. This was one that we had on watch in our chat room. It looked like it tried to bounce a couple days ago, put in a nice green candle yesterday. We had it on watch with a trigger of a break of yesterday's high, 2064. Okay, this is a great example to show you what I'm talking about. Now, look at today's candle. It opened at 2070. Okay, so now it's already opened above our trigger price. I'll show you what we did, just as an example. Scroll this over. Okay, here was today's opening candle. Had a 5-minute range, a high, opened at 2070, sold down to 2058. Now remember, we like this if it broke yesterday's high because it had room on the daily. Because this candle was only 12 cents in range, get my drawing tool going, because this opening candle here was only 12 cents from its low to its high, okay, we were comfortable buying a break of the early 5-minute high. So the trigger became 2071 right here with a worst case stop, 57. So a 14-cent risk. Really, in 10 minutes later, this thing's up in the mid 2080s. So now we can go to a break-even stop and just let this thing move. And so it ended up being a nice trade for us. 2071 entry went pretty quickly to 21 and ultimately went to 2117. So that's an example of how we might handle something different. And again, we'll follow up with a video tomorrow night to show you whether we traded NTRI and what we did with it. Well, I was going to show some more examples from today. I'm just going to let it go and keep these free pick videos short. So let's go back one more time. NTRI. There's the daily chart. Kind of remember the wedge. Not the best line drawer with a mouse. Kind of remember that wedge pattern, and we may get a breakout tomorrow. So we'll follow up. Have a great night, and I guess I should always say, don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose, and always use tight stops, okay? One more thing as I'm babbling. Real quick, for example, if it opens normally and then takes this high out tomorrow, we'll probably stop it below this base, or worst case, below here. So our stops are really rarely over a dime, okay? So keep that in mind when trading. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, and we'll follow up tomorrow night. Have a great night.